everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and today's video is going to be a weekend reading vlog. It's bank holiday weekend here in the UK. The weather is absolutely miserable, so it's the perfect time to do a weekend reading marathon. I'm also going to be participating in Final Book Support Group, which is hosted by Steph from Steph Loves. So this weekend I'm going to be prioritising finishing out some series. So the first and main book I'm hoping to make some progress in this weekend is The Shattered City by Lisa Maxwell. This is the fourth book in the Last Magician series. So in The Last Magician we have two timelines, present day New York and New York in 1902. In present day New York we follow Esther, who can manipulate and travel through time. She is tasked to go back to 1902 and find some artefacts. These artefacts helped create the Brink, which means that the magus, the magic users in this world, cannot leave New York City once they've entered. So she travels back to 1902 to gather these artefacts, and obviously she makes friends along the way and has to decide whether to betray the magus that she's met in 1902 or the magus in present day. And it turns out that maybe the magus in present day aren't as good as they appear to be. I really enjoyed the first one and I've been reading this series for quite a while, so I'm really excited to get this one finished. Also, it's quite long, it's 750 pages. I am about 100 pages in, so I'm hoping to make some decent progress in this one this weekend. The next book I'm hoping to finish this weekend is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the third book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. In A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, we follow Pip, who has a keen interest in true crime. For a school project, she decides to look into a local case where a young girl, Andy, was murdered by a young boy called Sal. However, Pip doesn't believe that Sal actually murdered Andy. Obviously, that was the plot of the first book, and we've moved on a bit since then. In the second book, we follow Pip in the aftermath of her solving the case, and she also has a podcast now called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and she looks into other true crime cases on this podcast. So yeah, this is the third and final book in that series. I really loved the first one, so I'm really excited as well to finish this one. And then the third and final book that I might get to this weekend is The Bronze Beasts by Roshani Chokshi. This is the third and final book in the Gilded Wolves series. The Gilded Wolves is set in 1899 and we follow Severin, who's a treasure hunter. He is coerced by the Order of Babel to go on a mission, and in return they will give him something that he desperately wants. He gathers a band of misfits to hunt down an artifact for the Order of Babel and discovers some secrets along the way, and it turns out the Order of Babel might not be what they claim to be. So these are the three books I'm hoping to make some progress in this weekend. I'm really excited for all of these books, so I'll check back in when I've got an update for you guys. So it's now late Sunday afternoon. I've not done a very good job of updating you in this vlog so far. Saturday just got away from me. I had a family thing in the morning and then I also had a family thing in the evening. So there was only a very short amount of time in the day that I could actually read, and I did read about 120 pages. But now that it's Sunday, I've had a bit more time to read, so I thought I'd give you a quick update on The Shattered City. So I'm currently 430 pages in, and I'm definitely hoping to get this one finished by tomorrow evening. So I'm really enjoying this one so far. For me, it's quite a fast-paced read. This is obviously the fourth book in a series that I'm really enjoying. So this book is currently split in between two timelines. We've got the past timeline of 1902, where characters like Sela, Viola and Gianu are currently in, and then we've got what was the present day timeline but is now 1983/1980 timeline, where Esther and Hart are currently at. I think that the split of the timelines is really helping with the fast-pacedness of this book, as we're having one chapter in the, well, they're both the past, but one chapter in 1902, one chapter in 1983, back to 1902, back to 1983, and then obviously Esther and Hart did jump back further to 1980, so we've been there for a couple of chapters, and I've just left it at, I think it's part 4? Yeah, I'm just about to start part 4. So Esther and Hart are currently trying to jump back to 1902. That's where I've left it at the end of part 3. So I guess the plot is going to converge, the characters are going to meet back up again, and we're going to see if Esther and Hart can stop the Order from creating the Brink, keep the artefacts out of Nibsy's hands, and see what happens. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit more, have my tea, and then I think this evening I'm going to switch over to As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, just to have a bit of a break from this book. Obviously I'm hoping to try and get this finished tomorrow, but I think switching over will give me a bit of a break from this one. And yeah, that's my plan for the rest of the evening. I'll probably check back in with you guys tomorrow and let you know how my reading's gone this evening. But yeah, I'm sorry for not updating you much yesterday, but like I said, the day just kind of got away from me, but these things happen. Probably check back in with you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's now Monday morning, so I just thought I'd come in and give you a quick update on what I managed to read last night. So I did manage to get to page 524 of The Shattered City. I'm still really enjoying this one. We've gotten to the point now where the two timelines have converged, so Esther and Hart have travelled back to 1902, all the characters have been reunited, and then we're obviously going into the third act of the book, the final sort of big fight or the big resolution is going to happen. So yeah, to be honest with you, I've got no idea how this is going to work, but yeah, I'm really excited to find out. I'm also really enjoying the time aspect of this book. Obviously with Esther and Hart travelling backwards and forwards in time, they are changing the timeline slightly. So when Esther goes forward to 1983, they're in, I think it's in Times Square, and there's a statue that should be of a different famous person. It is actually of one of the sort of villains in this book. So obviously Esther and Hart did something that sort of made him into a martyr, and this has affected the future timeline. And it's really interesting to see them navigating the changed timeline, because obviously now they don't know what's going to happen. Obviously Esther is from the future, she's from sort of present day, and Hart is from 1902. So she thinks she knows what's going to happen, but everything's changed. So it's really interesting to see the effects of what they're doing, and also the fact that they have no idea how this is going to end either. So that's a really interesting aspect of this book, and it's really well done as well. So yeah, I've got about 300-ish pages left. I'm definitely hoping to get this finished today. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one still. And then last night I also managed to read 120 pages of As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. So obviously we're picking up with Pip exactly where we left off in As Good as Dead. I think that's the second one. If you've read this series, you know that something quite tragic happens in the second book, and we're seeing Pip coping with PTSD, and she's not really coping very well. So at the start of this book, we're sort of discovering that Pip has a stalker. Something has happened, someone's not happy with her podcast or what she's doing, and they are stalking her. And I have to be honest with you, I probably shouldn't have read this so late at night. It did actually quite creep me out a little bit. So yeah, I think that's been done really well, just with how creeped out I personally felt. I mean, I am a bit of a wimp anyway, but so yeah, I think I'll try and read this one during the day today, just in case. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far. And to be honest with you, I read those first 120 pages within about 45-50 minutes. So this one is quite a quick read as well so far. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm really excited to finish out this series as well. So that's the update so far on these two books, and I'll check back in later today. Hi guys, so I've now finished The Shattered City by Lisa Maxwell. I love this one, 5 stars, such a brilliant end to the series. Considering it was like 750 odd pages long, it really did not feel like a chunky book. It was so fast paced, so good. The plot wrapped up really nicely. There's no sort of loose threads. Everything's wrapped up really well. And there was even a little twist at the end that I definitely didn't see coming. Yeah, guys, I love this one. I think this series is so underrated. I think if you enjoyed The Diviners by Libba Bray, you would really like this one. It's the same sort of early 1900s atmosphere. There's found family, there's LGBTQ rep. The plot the world, the magic, it's just all so unique. It's absolutely fantastic. Please pick this up. Please pick this up. So good. So yeah, I love this one. So now I've finished this one, I don't really know what to do with myself. Yeah, so now I've finished this one, I think I'm going to move on to focusing on As Good as Dead. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick up the third book, The Bronze Beast, but we'll see. But yeah, if I can get a good chunk of the way through the next book, I'll be really pleased. So yeah, I'm going to go and have some lunch and I'll check back in with you later. But yeah, please read this series. Please read this series. Please. So I'm now just past part 2 in As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, and well, this took a turn that I wasn't expecting. Yeah, I can't really say anything without spoiling it, but there was just a massive twist and we've completely gone off the rails. Yeah, I mean, it's all linked back to the very first murder case that Pip looks into. So we're looking back into Andy Bell and the Bell family and the tragic murder from the first book, and it's still linking to this next case that Pip's looking into, which links to the previous one, which links to the previous one. They're all connected. This tiny little town, there's a lot going on here. But yeah, I'm liking that it's all linked back. It doesn't feel like it's 3 separate mysteries. Like, it's all linked. It makes sense that this is a series. But yeah, this is just, like, I've got no words for what's just happened. I mean, if you've read this book, then you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, just, what? Like, what is going to happen? I mean, I've got about 200 pages left. I have no idea where this is going to go. I mean, what Pip and Ravi have decided to do, I kind of like the idea. But yeah, this has just gone mad, absolutely mad. But yeah, I'm really intrigued by it though. Like, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen, but I just don't really have any words for what's just happened. I mean, we'll find out, I guess. Hey guys, so it's now Monday evening and I just thought I would come in and wrap this vlog up. So I did manage to finish As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I'm going to give this one, I think, a 4 stars, maybe a 3.5. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to think about my rating a little bit. I did enjoy this one, not as much as the first one. I did love the first one and give it 5 stars. And I did enjoy the second one just a tiny little bit less than the first. But this one is my least favourite in the series, I think, just because the plot of the first 2 really focused on Pip solving some true crime cases and looking into them for her podcast or for her school project, whereas this one, that definitely took a backseat to another sort of plot line going on. I mean, yes, she was looking into a true crime case, but it really did sort of only get briefly mentioned, and then it was obviously all connected back to the first case that we covered and the second case. It all linked together, but it did really take a backseat. And I think Pip as well as a character, obviously she's suffering from PTSD from the tragic event that happened in the second book, but I do feel like her character completely changed. Like, if you've read this book, then you might know what I'm on about, but sort of in the latter half, even in sort of the first half, she's very secretive, and it doesn't seem like it's her at all. I know PTSD can affect people in different ways, and she's not going to be the same person that she was at the very beginning of this trilogy with everything that she's been through, but it did feel like quite a dramatic shift. And it seemed like her family did care, but not really. Like, the family sort of took a bit of a backseat, when they were sort of quite important in the first two. Yeah, I did enjoy this one, but yeah, just not as much as the first two. But I would still highly recommend this series. And like I said as well, there is a stalking element in this book, so do be wary of that going in if that triggers you. But yeah, I did really enjoy this one, and it's a very good sort of murder mystery series. So those are the two books I managed to read this weekend for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more bookish content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!